goes up first. If I was fancy about it, like the real like pro streamers, like they have like basically like an opening credits that they play while they're getting ready.
We need to get fancy.
And then they cut over. Like I'm trying to figure that part out.
We need to get fancy.
It's not hard work. So, all right, we should be live on both.
Okay.
So what's up, guys?
Hello.
All right, we gotta try and watch the Facebook stream too for whatever. This is episode 84. All right, if you're watching Facebook, we are going to talk about Infinity War, but we're going to turn off Facebook and YouTube before we do, unless we forget.
We won't forget.
And that's going to be at the end, so you're safe for now.
For now.
Until
the Infinity Stones get moved.
It's true. Time Stone. You never know, right?
This is true.
So, all right, let's get started. This is
84.
Ocho Cuatro.
Don't forget to hit the recorder.
Yeah. Well, today it was don't forget to put the memory card in the recorder. Like I set up ready to go. I was like, oh, there's no memory card in there.
Okay, there you go.
All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody. This is Gather the Nerds, episode 84. I'm Cav, that's Nick.
What's up?
Church is here.
Hey, guys.
2 out of the 3 of us are injured and or sick. I have the allergy.
Church, you can't show your injury. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have a boo-boo.
I think you can. I think it's
You do.
medical.
I can. Here's my injury.
Yeah.
Okay, touche.
Yep.
You can't show it how Harper shows her boo-boos.
No, I cannot.
Yeah, it's I'm being assaulted by allergies and who knows what else.
He's got the swine flu.
I have swine flu, monkeypox.
That works.
In church, broke a finger. I don't even know how. I haven't even asked yet. Because honestly, I don't know if you tell us the truth. Like
Shanther.
Did she break your finger? Did you get out of line and she just snapped your finger? Is this what happened?
No.
Last week when he was mouthing her, she was like,
"No,
when we get home, it's on."
It wasn't that. It was I didn't pay the money back fast enough.
Nice. Poor Phil.
It's a
It's like that Stephen King
non-essential
movie in real
for
life.
gaming finger, so I'm good.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you
I
laugh.
can still grab the controller and
It's
hunt
funny
those deer.
is you laugh about that is like when Rise of Iron came out, you know, however long that was ago. I scheduled my carpal tunnel surgery on my hand.
Oh,
like
I remember.
weeks
I don't laugh
before.
at all. I have had issues happen where I've jammed a finger or something and had a splint on or had a cast on and couldn't play, and it's the worst.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You can't do anything.
You can't.
No, I know.
You can
yeah,
control
yeah.
with one hand and
Yeah.
then just bang it on the
Yeah.
other side
Yep.
with the other, and that's
Yeah.
it. Stupid controller.
Which is
You use your nose.
yeah. Well,
I got inventive.
I bet you did.
well, luckily, hey Brian, what's going on? He says, "What's up, nerds?"
We're nerdy.
Yep. So, luckily, since we have
Is that sausage, Brian?
so we have Sea of Thieves, extra content coming out, plus Destiny content coming out.
Yeah.
I don't have to have my right hand is good to go surgery wise, so I am. Stoked.
Oh,
I
really?
am
So you're
stoked about
good.
that.
So
I'm
how
good, yeah.
are they doing that? What's the
We're
plan?
working on. We're doing some other stuff at the moment. It's not bad.
Because the boy be weak.
I be weak. Yeah. For those of you who follow my trials and tribulations, like I've been in front of a keyboard since I was like 9, and so carpal tunnel's a real thing for me. I already had it done on one side, and gonna have to do it on the other at some point. But got a little wake up call when I had the left one done and tried to take care of the right hand. It seems to be working okay. So I thought I was doomed, but I am not, at least not yet. So. Which is important because there's a lot of good video games coming out because we've got the Destiny DLC, we've got Sea of Thieves, we've got the Tomb Raider expansion or the Tomb Raider sequel that's coming out. Apparently Far Cry 5 is crazy good according to Matt. And Church just
Matt's
found this
been all
hunting
about
game that
it's
is
so fun.
absolutely insane.
So what is this hunting game?
Hunter Call the Wild?
Yes, it's the hunter. It's all one word. It's the hunter. There's
hunter.
no space between the and hunter.
Okay.
So the hunter and then call of the wild. Got
I like
spaces
how
there.
I like how he's saying Hunter.
It is.
Sounds like me when I'm sneezing.
The hunter.
Gesundheit.
So, Basically, it's game on the Gamer Pass
Okay. Is
on
it
Xbox
still on
Live, the
Gamer
monthly
Pass?
Gamer Pass. Yes.
Okay.
When they take it off, I will go out and buy it because
That good, huh?
I'm addicted at this point.
That's
so is
hilarious.
Mitch.
Yeah, I know
but
you guys have been hunting big game.
it's massive, huge maps. There's 3 of them so far. They're the biggest open world maps I've ever seen. Which that was actually the draw. I did just want to just run through the forest and kill anything that I saw just for fun. That's why I downloaded it at first. I wanted to go all Logan mode and just go through the forest and just kill everything.
That's actually how he broke his finger.
Yeah,
Yes.
He was doing
that's it.
I was
He
Loganing
was running
out.
in his room.
in
like
his room.
this.
The fish weren't biting, so I was out just running after deer.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Did you have an Oculus Rift or something? Is that how you hurt your finger?
no, I had that thing that
Google Cardboard.
I had the haptic gloves.
Oh. Okay. Ready Player One.
And something bit your finger and just
Yeah.
broke it.
Yes,
That
Honey
grizzly.
badger.
it was
Right?
still
Yeah.
Shanther.
Oh.
But yeah, super fun game. Uses the Avalanche engine. Beautiful environment. The difficulty scale is quite high, so that's actually kind of what pulled me in and got me a little bit addicted. It really, like, you have to track them. You have to. There's waiting involved. It's not just oh, there they are. So when you get one, it really feels like you've done something.
So essentially, you're actually hunting in a game,
You are hunting.
just like you would hunt in real life.
Just like you would hunt in real life. Except
However, you have the
you're
comforts
not
of your
in
house.
real life.
Yeah, you have the
Yeah.
comforts of your house. A
So
couch,
two things.
heat and air.
Two things. If you are hunting multiplayer with Mitch, can you and or Mitch become the hunted?
I will not let you shoot each other.
Okay, it's terrible.
So what I did was just ran an ATV into him repeatedly, and while he was hunting, I shot a gun around him several times to scare off most of the
Nice.
animals.
So-
Although we did have a part where we were just. This is what hunting with Mitch is like. We were hiding in a blind at one point, and just we hadn't seen anything for like 10 minutes,
Mhm.
and we were just. I think we were talking about Infinity War for 5 minutes, and just how excited we were to go see it the next night. And he just interrupted and was like, "Holy crap, there's a moose!" And we both looked out the window of the blind and saw the moose, and immediately both shot it at the same time. It ran off. We both ran out of the blind and just chased it.
And you got eaten by a bear.
We did not. We found the moose. The bears were not in that part of the map. But that's basically what hunting with Mitch is like.
Gotcha.
So essentially, you're sitting there waiting.
Sitting there waiting, or you can travel and
Yeah, okay.
try and be quiet and sneak up on them.
Man.
But yeah, we're just sitting there, not even paying attention.
I mean, it
All of a
sounds
sudden
like
we
Sea
see a
of
moose,
Thieves to
shoot it
me.
and chase it.
It sounds like Sea of Thieves to me on land. A whole bunch of hurry up and wait.
More waiting than
More waiting.
Sea of
Okay,
Thieves.
okay.
Yeah.
So Brian's sneaking this in and listening from work. So if you've got something you want us to talk about, Brian, sneak it in the Facebook comments. We'll see if we can't work it in. A few things to talk about this week. A couple. DC, some movie stuff, a lot of tech stuff, some TV stuff. Some things out of Marvel. We're going to talk about Infinity War at length at the end. Like I said, we'll kill the Facebook feed before that. But where would you like to begin?
Infinity War.
Where else would you like to begin?
Star Wars.
I don't have any Star Wars.
Wow. I just
I
said
have
that
Star
as a
Trek.
blind guess.
We can go Star
Ooh,
Trek.
Star Trek.
Let
We
me
don't
go-
often have Star Trek on
We
here.
can
Yeah,
go
let's
with-
go there.
We can go with Star Trek. Kind of big news out of the Star Trek world. S.J. Clarkson is becoming the first female director in franchise history. She has been tapped to direct Star Trek 4, which is coming after was the last one Beyond? Was that the last one?
Yeah.
Yep. So she's been tapped to direct the fourth movie, which will have all the usual suspects. There was still talk about
Kaiser Sose.
Quentin Tarantino, which Paramount is still developing another Star Trek movie with JJ and Quentin Tarantino but it's being written to come after this movie. So whatever 4 is going to be, the Tarantino would be number 5. So still going to be produced through Bad Robot and all of that stuff, but this is the first, and I never even thought about that, the first time that a woman is directing a Star Trek film. So
What other movies has she directed?
I'm looking for that. It's not a name that I recognized.
Marvel episode Defenders, it looks like.
Oh, did she do some of the Defenders?
Clarkson is best known for TV scenes with shows such as Dexter, Bates Motel, Orange is the New Black, and Jessica Jones.
Okay.
She recently directed a handful of episodes for Marvel's The Defenders.
So primarily TV, making the jump over to film.
Yeah, right on.
So
Very cool.
what that could also mean too is that that Star Trek movie may or may not be as big and as grand as the other ones. It may be a more intimate style movie, kind of more like TV.
Could be cool.
I mean, because you look at Defenders, like the whole thing is big, but a lot of the interactions are happening in small spaces.
Even
So,
Jessica Jones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Absolutely.
That could work
So,
out.
Yep. So, in other movie news, CinemaCon is going on right now, and we have the first hint of what Glass is going to be about. Now, Glass is going to be the M. Night Shyamalan universe sequel that ties together Split and Unbreakable, and how everything is all tied together. I'm trying to find it, and I lost it. There we go. So the trailer got released in there at Universal CinemaCon panel today, and so the trailer apparently shows Sarah Paulson appearing as a psychiatrist who describes herself as someone that specializes in people who believe they are superheroes. Among her patients are Bruce Willis as David Dunn, Samuel L. Jackson as Mr. Glass, and James McAvoy as Kevin Wendell Crumb, a.k.a. The Horde. So Samuel L. Jackson speaks up and says, "We're just waiting for the world to see that we exist." When somebody asks what his name is, he says first name Mr., last name, and then it shows the title card, Glass. So
Interesting.
this is going to be now, have you seen Split?
I have not.
But
I haven't even seen Unbreakable either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Split's good, a little freaky, but Unbreakable is good too. And a lot of people who are in Split and Unbreakable, there's some people who are coming back into that. Unbreakable was a while ago at this point.
Yeah.
But they're talking about a January 2019 release date coming from Blumhouse, who does things like Purge and a few other things as well. So it's going to be kind of a dark, gritty
a little bit
type thing. So that's going to be cool. Like I like Unbreakable. I like Split. I like Split a lot more than I thought I would. And the fact that is all one universe is pretty cool.
So does Signs fit into that? Because didn't he do Signs?
He did do Signs, but there's no
He did The
indication
Village.
that Signs or The Village are in the same universe.
Both movies utterly confusing at the end. What happened?
Signs you get.
Well, I get both of them, but I'm just saying it's like
Yeah.
it's such a mystery putting it all together.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
was the whole thing with them too. Originally, like that was he kind of. It was with. What was the first one? Help me out
Sixth
here.
Sense.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sixth Sense. Once that plot twist happened, like, oh, giant plot twist at the end, okay, and everybody's mind was blown. And then the second time he does it, oh, giant plot twist at the end. They're like, well, we're starting to see a bit of a pattern here. And then people started to expect it, and things kind of went like, Lady in the Water and The Village and stuff like that.
Well, like The Village, you think you're in these Puritan times, and then you find out they're just in Yellowstone Park.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean? Like,
Spoilers, 15 years later.
sorry if you
Wow,
haven't
I
seen
have
it by
not
now.
seen it. I was actually going to watch it on
Yeah, okay,
Netflix
whatever.
later this week. Yeah.
I don't even think it's on
just
Netflix.
Ruined.
Well,
terrible.
sorry.
Who
No,
keeps digging?
no.
Is that your watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's one of those things that I could see how that could easily happen, and then at the same rate, it's like, how did that happen? Like, how did they get so wrapped up away from society that nobody knew they were there, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're here?
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right. One thing to
No Google Earth.
True.
That's true. I didn't think about that. Like Google Earth, like you look over, like, whoa, what is that? Another one of our favorite movies that we go through, John Wick. So they're producing John Wick 3 right now.
Yeah.
And apparently Halle Berry is in discussions to play the female lead in John Wick 3.
Which is pretty cool.
I'm
It's
down
pretty
for
cool,
that.
yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
am. I think that could be really cool.
Yeah. Especially if she plays like an assassin, something like a counter hero or anti-hero or however you want to look at that.
Yeah, it says at CinemaCon also happening this weekend, Lionsgate revealed the first plot synopsis for John Wick 3, and excuse me, and she would play a character named Sophia is all they've really said, but she is the lead runner for which I mean that I don't know if she is. Says she's being described as a 20 to 40-year-old who has a small child. So
Okay.
either this is a John Wick trying to protect somebody type story,
Yeah.
or the child is also an assassin. I mean, there's a plot twist for you. I mean, you've got The Professional if you really want to go that far with it.
Yeah.
But
Well, wasn't that the girl that played in The Professional one? Is she in something recently?
that's Natalie Portman.
Okay, that's
So,
okay.
yes.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
she's
she
played
was.
she was in Annihilation, and
She was in something called Star Wars, I think. Too.
Star Tours.
I think you mean Black Swan.
Star Tour, Black Swan. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she was in that too. I think.
Something like that. B for
Yeah.
Vendetta. Just a
Yeah,
few.
I didn't remember that was her.
Oh, V
Yeah.
for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
Makes me think of Infinity War.
They need to do like a V for Vendetta too.
I think there's a joke there, but I don't have it. Damn it.
What, V for Vendetta 2?
Yeah.
Remember the 6th of November?
Something like that.
Nothing much happened that day.
Yeah, I don't know. One thing. Now, are you guys familiar with movie?
Wait, what comes after V?
That's where I was going, and I couldn't get there. I blame the allergy medicine. Are you guys familiar with MoviePass? This
Yes.
Yeah.
basically, yeah. So, it may not be as they've recently changed their terms of service and a few other things, and a couple of people, well, more than a couple of people, are not so happy about it. Right as Infinity War comes out, they have changed many things. One, they've changed some of the pricing structures, but two, some MoviePass is no longer allowing customers to see one movie per day. They're saying 4 movies per month. So 1 movie per week, but still at $10 a month. Okay, you still got a savings. All right, I'll get you that.
Yeah, but you're not getting that much savings.
You're not getting that much savings. But on the flip side, they're also preventing customers from buying tickets to select movies more than once. The first movie on said list, Avengers: Infinity War. So you can't
Wow.
go see the same movie over and over and over again.
That's lame.
Yeah.
That's lame.
I think now MoviePass has come out and said that, oh, everything's fine. This is, we're just, adjusting the business model or whatever. Nobody believes them. Something's up.
I mean, if I had time to go see Black Panther over and over again, I would have.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just didn't have time.
Yeah.
Infinity Wars is the same way,
Yeah.
because both of those movies I feel like are just the two newest examples. The movies are so big that if you don't go and see them multiple times, you miss a ton of stuff.
Ready Player
Yeah.
One.
Ready Player One's another
Yeah.
good example of that. Like, I've only seen it once, and it's one of those things that I know I missed a ton.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. And it's just, and it's like going and seeing it multiple times is kind of I mean, it's kind of experiencing it. Like you said, we've talked about it a lot, which is the first time you go just to experience the movie as a whole. The second time you go is to see everything you missed. And the third time, if you go a third time, it's just to kind of enjoy it, knowing where you can catch all the little things. And,
Yeah, yeah.
Because for something like Infinity War, something like Black Panther, something like Ready Player One, where there's, call outs and homages and stuff like that everywhere you turn. Yeah, you need to see something like that more than once.
Well, I mean, I saw The Last Jedi 3 times in one weekend, and I will tell you, each time I watched it, even though by the third time I was mostly enjoying it, I caught something new.
Yeah.
Like the first time I watched it, I thought I saw something. The second time I confirmed it, and the third time I was like, oh, there it is. It was the Jedi texts play a crucial role that kind of goes unnoticed if you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. So
An update to this article, The Verge has this article. It's also saying the MoviePass is now asking users to upload photos of ticket stubs to verify purchases. Yeah,
big data.
MoviePass is going to die.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's like
The concept was good.
the concept was good. I think the execution was bad.
Something will rise up though.
Yeah, but
Something will take that
Ticket
spot.
prices.
Well, yeah,
no kidding. Yeah, I mean, a Netflix for movies is, I mean, where you can go as much as you want, watch as much as you want for a flat rate is awesome. Like that's
Yeah.
in the world where people waiting for digital, and things like that, and people not going to the theater as much, like this gets people back in the theater. This is how theaters. I don't want to say this is how theaters survive because that's not accurate, but this gets people back in the movie theater where they buy $9 popcorns. Like,
Well, and I think
Because
that's
of the
kind of
ticket
the.
price thing,
I think
yeah.
that's the other thing though is the fact that so much of going, like the experience as a whole of going to a movie theater is so expensive.
oh, absolutely.
I mean, compared to what you could do for that same amount of money.
Oh yeah, I mean,
You
you
know?
look at if on average, my friend Mandy just joined. Hi, Mandy. If you go to the Warren and you sit in the balcony and there's two people and you do that plus food plus drinks, you're dropping $100.
Easily.
like-
Yeah.
I mean, tickets are 20-ish
Yeah.
bucks a piece.
Yeah.
You know, another 20-30 bucks on food and drinks.
I'd say
and get
yeah.
popcorn.
Yeah.
So you're dropping between $80 and $100.
Yeah.
For 2 hours.
Right. If
Like,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so there is so absolutely. So getting, for some people, it's just not, that's not doable.
I mean,
but
thankfully, movies don't come out like literally every week that we have to go and you know that I feel like I've got to go and see right away. Does that make sense? I mean, I know movies come out every week, but what I'm saying is
yeah, like must-see
the
movies.
the must see ones, yes. So you know, it's a little bit more affordable, but like you said, a
Yeah.
lot of people can't do all of that. And even if you don't go to the balcony, you're still spending $24 on 2 tickets
yeah,
if you go to just a regular seat.
yeah.
And then at that point, then you've got the popcorn and you've got everything, which then encourages people to sneak stuff in,
Yeah.
which I know they're trying to curb that, and I get that, but you can't expect people to pay $8 for a small box of hot tamales when they can go to Walgreens, spend $4 and get 2 gigantic boxes.
It's true.
It just doesn't make sense.
And you wonder why everybody always wears baggy pants. You're like, I thought cargo pants went out in the 90s. But no, full of candy.
Yeah,
They
cargo
I'm
Jinkos are still
rolling in
man.
with my Jinkos.
Yeah.
rolling in with my
They're back,
Jinkos.
man. You can buy them now.
But and the thing is, like, you know,
Skater, leave me alone.
movies try to adapt. Why you gotta judge, man? Movie theaters tried to adapt by going to this more like luxury type thing, which is reclining seats, reserved seats, all that other stuff. But all that did, which I fully endorse and love the fact that we have reserved seats and reclining seats, stuff like
No,
that.
I think
But
that
what
was
it
a
did-
smart move.
But what it did is it drove the prices up because now it is a more luxury experience.
You
I
have
think,
more
though-
options, which is great, but if you want to pay for them, it didn't. It pulled more people in, but it didn't do anything for the price point.
Yes.
Well, and I think people would be okay with a more expensive ticket for that luxury. Like I know I am. I don't bat an eye about paying $12 for a ticket to have a reserved seat, and I don't got to stand in line for 4 hours. You know?
Yeah.
That's fine with me. I think the issue becomes when you want people to bring an entire family of say 3 or 4 people. You know, a lot of families can't drop that much money on all the goodies that are at the
Oh,
counter.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
something's got to give. Either your ticket prices have to go down and your food prices stay up, or your food prices have to go down and your ticket prices stay up.
Yeah.
One or the other. But, you know, the one thing I will say about the Warren is they seem relatively fair on pricing for meals. So, like, when
Yeah.
we're in the balcony, I mean, I spent $6 or $7 on my meal. And, I mean, I know other ones are more expensive, but I feel like that's pretty normal for a
Yeah, you're paying
restaurant, I
You're
guess.
paying typical restaurant prices. You're paying $10 or $12 for a burger.
Yeah.
and somebody's
You know.
bringing it to you. I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
there's a percentage
There's
there that people
value.
would be okay with.
Yeah.
But to go to the thing and pay $9 for a large popcorn, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's popcorn. It costs you like 50 cents to make that whole large thing right there.
That's the
And additionally, MoviePass, I mean, an idea like that gets me to the theater for a lot of movies that I wouldn't want to pay. I wouldn't want to do like a $40 drop
yeah.
to go see this movie.
Yeah.
Massive movies, Ready Player One, Star Wars, Avengers, stuff like that. I'm gonna go see in the theater because you want to see that on the biggest screen, as big of screen as possible.
Yeah.
But there are good movies out there that I would love to see in a theater setting for that atmosphere and
Yeah.
to ingest them that way. And I just don't feel like I can drop that amount of money when I know there's a big blockbuster coming around the corner that I'm going to have to do as well.
And especially during the summertime when it is a blockbuster like every other week.
Every other week, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, because
When we're getting to that point now, with you've got Han Solo coming out very
Deadpool.
soon.
You've
Very
got
next
Deadpool
week we have
coming out.
Deadpool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, while Deadpool might not necessarily be a big time movie in a lot of people's eyes, it's going to be a huge
Yeah,
movie.
it's gonna
I
be
mean,
huge.
we're nerds.
There's no
it's
way
huge
around
for
it.
us.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way around it. And even with Han Solo, the more trailers
Pump
that
the
I've
hate
seen,
brakes, Thanos.
I'm hooked. You know, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, and this is up to really the movie theater. I mean, I think you've got to. I think they're at a point where they can't increase it anymore. I'll be shocked if they can and survive.
Yeah, it'll be.
If it'll be marginal, you wouldn't notice. But
That's what it is. It's always marginal. It's $1 here, $1 there. It's service fees. It's all that
Yeah.
other stuff.
yeah,
So
well, there's no service fee if I'm doing it myself. So yeah.
So-
About that.
they in other superhero movie news is they're talking about Henry Cavill is on record as saying he wants to come back and do Man of Steel 2.
I'm kind of excited about that.
a
actually.
direct sequel to Man of Steel. Now I don't know if he means that happens before or after Justice League, but he wants a direct sequel of Man of Steel.
I think it would be before, don't you?
It would be, but that would just be a weird. This is where we get all these superhero movies, and we start talking about timelines. When people have to start figuring out where this is happening in a timeline, it starts confusing people. And
So you're saying don't pull a Star Wars, basically?
I think you've got to do it after.
Okay.
Like Star Wars, I think you get because you started with 4, and
I-
people kind of
you-
know that.
You would be surprised how many people don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people that aren't like wrapped up in it, but I get questions constantly because I am such a big Star Wars fan. What movie do I start with? Which one happened first? What, and it's hard for people
I
to
remember
understand.
you talked about that when you were on the news.
Yes, the first one is
Yeah.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, when I was on the news.
Yeah.
So it's just one. It's just one of those things that people struggle with that timeline. And like the newest 3 movies, or the newest 2 movies, but soon to be 3. People are confused because you get The Force Awakens, then you get Rogue One. Well,
Yeah.
why is Rogue One between those 2? And it actually goes back to number 3 and 4. What do you mean? And
What's-
that just blows people's minds.
I don't get this. What is confusing about this? The first 3 were right here, then the next 3 were right here, and then we jumped ahead to right here, and then maybe we went back for here for one, and then we're coming back to this, and then the next one's going to be somewhere around in here. I don't get this. This feels pretty simple.
Well,
I agree.
The
I
only
agree.
thing Star Wars has going, the thing that Star Wars has going for it in that is that it started with 4, 5, and 6, and then the prequels. Like it was this whole thing. Come watch the prequels, so you knew you were jumping back in time. Star Wars has this history of jumping around, but DC does not. They reboot everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so if they do Man of Steel 2, but it happens before Justice League, does that mean Justice League doesn't happen?
Like, is it retcon?
Is it retcon? All that other stuff. So he's quoted as saying, "I'm having a lot of conversations behind the scenes with certain people, and we will hopefully be having conversations with other people who are also behind the scenes to make things start happening."
Well, conversations with people about things
To
behind
other
the
people.
scenes to other people is
Who are also-
important, and we're excited about it.
He says it is very much in my desire to do a Man of Steel 2, a direct sequel to Man of Steel. There's a whole bunch of Superman story that I want to tell. There's a whole story of Superman's character that I'm very keen to tell. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. They have talked that there has likely been some sort of contract extension that he's signed at some point, and that this will eventually happen. But it could be 2020, 2021 before we see any of this. So
Well, I'm excited. I hope they do it, regardless of where it falls in the timeline.
they'll do it. They'll do it at some point. At some point, they will do it. But right now, DC, Warner Brothers, they're still trying to figure out all the, hoopla with, like who's running the studio.
Well, and what I think would be cool with a Superman movie is we've seen Superman before Justice League, right? I mean, like, that's been done. When we were kids, it was done.
Yeah.
So why not make it a direct sequel of Man of Steel, but have the storyline follow Justice League?
And I think you could like
Yeah.
basically his if he's talking about Superman character, after Justice League, he's has to kind of come back to being Superman.
I mean, unless
again,
you want to
like-
see him land in the desert and actually talk to the military people at the end of Man of Steel.
Oh, like it literally picks
Yeah,
up
like he's
seconds after.
floating and then he just drops down. Unless you want to see that, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it picks up seconds after Man of Steel
yeah.
1.
Yeah, pretty much.
So another
Kind of like Star Wars did.
one movie turned TV series. So there's been some character breakdowns for Watchmen, the HBO series that Damon Lindelof is doing. Now nobody knows if these are actual characters or if this is some sort of misdirect, but they're basically talking about there's Angela Abraham, an African-American female cop, Cal Abraham, the stay-at-home husband of Abraham, Looking Glass, a good-looking cop. The native Oklahoman isn't as simple as his rural accent appears to be. So this is all happening in Oklahoma, and I know that you guys get excited about when things happen in our state.
As long as it's the real thing in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Panda.
Don't put a casino somewhere where it
here-
doesn't exist.
The thing is, I don't understand how they get away with this one. Panda, an ethnic desk cop, like I don't know how you get away with that. Red Scare, a tracksuit wearing cop. His Russian accent lends to his abrasiveness. Church, I feel like
I don't
you
know
are
how you
Red
get away with
Scare.
that one either.
Pirate Jenny. Can't really explain that and keep our. She's an anarchist at heart. I can't say the other thing and keep our family rating. So
But she's
basically,
androgynous.
at this point, all
So
we
she's basically the ancient one.
yeah. So at this point, all we know is that the Watchmen TV pilot is going to be about a bunch of Oklahoma cops. So I think we had that.
I mean, I'm not upset about this.
I think we had that a couple years ago, and that was called Live PD.
Oh, it's still happening. We watch it every year we're in Dallas.
Yeah, I love Live PD. But now some people are saying that maybe these are just, this is the type of character you would have to play, not this is the character you're playing.
Like, that's not their actual names.
Yeah, same thing with, I mean, they do the same thing with Walking Dead auditions, is you come in to play a character that doesn't actually exist, but it lends the same tone as somebody you would play.
So I'm going to just walk out on a limb here. It's confusing to me given how gritty Watchmen is, and how I guess how gritty it is, that you would walk in as an actor and you would see these names and like that's okay. Does that make sense? Like Panda, for example. Like I don't, it just seems it's questionable.
But this is HBO, and
I'm just saying
depending
it's
how
just
dark and
it's
gritty
just
it
questionable.
is. So
I don't know.
Yeah, so in the original Watchmen book, there were cops that did have a presence in the book,
Mm-hmm.
and they were basically the ones hunting the vigilantes,
Right.
and so maybe this is one side of it versus
Could be.
something like that.
I wonder. Is there a storyline that occurs in Oklahoma in Watchmen? I've not ever read it, so I don't know.
I don't
Church, do you know?
think so.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the one reference to Oklahoma cop, maybe he may be an Oklahoma cop in New York or
Right.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yeah,
Could be cool.
could be
cool,
Could be very cool.
especially with it being HBO. I mean, they can pretty much do whatever they want.
Yeah, because I don't see any other references actually to
To Oklahoma.
Yeah.
other than Looking Glass.
So, in Marvel news, before we, let's not do Marvel news yet. We'll save that before we run straight into Infinity War. Let's talk about regular movie and tech news. So, your hotel rooms are no longer safe. If you
Shocker.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting thing. I find things like this very interesting. The hackers have built a master key that can open millions of hotel rooms. So there is a very common type of electronic lock system called Vision. Shocking, Infinity
So
War.
it's a
Ding.
it's a Raspberry Pi that he's got in his hand, or an Arduino.
Something like that, yes. And it's used in more than 42,000 properties in 166 countries, amounting to millions of hotel rooms, as well as garages and storage units. There's a great article about this on ZDNet, by the way. So, like, some hotels you have to slide your key card, and some hotels you just put your key card in front of the door. Well, if you're putting your key card in front of the door, and they have figured out a exploit within this system, then they can pretty much open any hotel room.
So
they want.
essentially, hotels are going to have to switch over immediately.
I don't know that they'll have to switch as much as they'll probably have to update. Like,
Okay.
I assume that those things have some sort of update capability. Maybe they don't. But they said it's basically built around RFID. That's what those cards are built around.
Sure.
You know, there's RFID chips in your phones and all
Right.
kinds of stuff. So
Which is why you should get an RFID blocking wallet.
it's true. You can get an RFID blocking card. It's seen on Shark Tank. So I watched a lot of Shark Tank this past week.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, I love Shark Tank. So
Question.
they said the software is patched at the central server, but the firmware on each lock has to be updated. So they've already released a security patch to fix these flaws, but you're talking about months to touch every lock.
So, question. How do they know that they found this out? Did they just like put it on Twitter?
They
Like,
probably
hey, we
they,
figured this out.
yeah, they probably released it. They either
Okay.
released it either on the dark web or something like that. Hey, here's how you do X, and somebody got.
Here's how you do X.
Yes, here's how you do X. Yeah, okay. So
Family rating.
exactly. There goes our family rating. So yeah, it's
This week on Gather the Nerds.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Cab tells you how to do X. Yeah,
I don't know him.
So we, so they're using custom software, things like that they built on. But this is what they
That's
do. I mean, you
Yeah.
I mean, you find locks, whatever. That's why. I mean,
So we know that our government basically has the software to access the dark web. Do
you
think-
have the software to access the dark web,
Right, but I don't have the Tor stuff.
the Tor browser.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, we know that they're out there. I guess they just really don't care because it's fairly, isn't it?
It's the Wild West.
From
out there.
like a hacker point of view, isn't it technically, I guess, kind of safe? Your identity's somewhat concealed. Just based on the fact that you're accessing the dark web, you probably have the knowledge to conceal your identity.
Just
pretty well.
like most things, yeah. If you're going to the dark web on purpose, you're taking precautions.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
more than likely. But the thing is, you never really know how much they do or don't know from you. You know, they found people straight up from the dark web because
Yeah.
of things that they've done. Because it's more than just like hiding an IP address. Like,
oh yeah,
to the point
yeah.
of like things you say, your mannerisms, phrases, things like that. They've caught somebody on the dark web because he used the same signature in a post that he used in a public post on the regular internet.
Yeah.
Like, and then they start doing like linguistic analysis, stuff like that.
Wait a
like-
minute, that came from the Unabomber.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. But you know, you get the whole NSA thing, and you know they've got their software. I forget what it's actually called, but it's basically the NSA big data thing that broke a couple of years ago that people were
Yeah.
losing their minds about. Didn't realize it had been really happening in the way that it had.
Yep.
Which, by the way, if you're curious about that, there's a fascinating documentary from the people that actually created the original program, and I believe it's on Netflix. It may be on Amazon, but it's called The Good Citizen.
Okay.
It is terrifying, but it's actually very interesting. Kind of like the Unabomber thing.
Yeah.
Like that was all made for TV movie, but the information in it was
Yeah.
just out of this world. And it's really pretty cool how people have just figured stuff out. So.
Yep.
But anywho.
In other news that is not as exciting, Amazon Prime is going up again. So they're raising their price to $119
From 100.
from
It's a little bit of a
from
jump
99.
there.
Yeah, about a 20% jump. Some people are coming out and saying, well, it's that $99 was it. That's the break for me. But at $119 a year, $10 a month, basically, I don't there's still a tremendous amount of value there for me.
Oh yeah. I don't
Yeah,
I mean that's
they've
not
still got me.
we're not
Oh, yeah,
I
I'm
mean
not
if they
going
start
anywhere.
getting to like $300 a month, then we're going to have some problems.
$300 a month? Yeah, I'm out.
$200 a month, I'm probably out too.
Yeah. Well, this is $119 a year. So
That's
not
what
a
I'm
month.
saying. Yeah, I mean
So-
that's what I meant. Sorry, $200 a year.
Yeah.
I'm
What
probably
is your threshold? What's your threshold for Amazon Prime? $20 a month?
I'm going to say 119 in case they're listening.
You can't go any higher than this.
out. Yeah, I think my threshold.
Don't push
current
us,
as
Amazon.
well. Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
It's probably not.
I think you
but
just have to base it on how much you're using it, like what benefits you're getting from it. If you're simply ordering stuff, then maybe your threshold's right now. But if you're watching media, downloading free music, like that kind of stuff, then
we're watching tons of stuff, but I'll be honest, as much as I order from Amazon, I pretty much won't if I can't get Prime shipping.
yeah, me too.
So,
I'm even at the point
it's
now where
so
when I order
nice.
stuff, I filter by Prime.
I do too.
If
Oh,
you
I
don't
do too,
offer
yeah.
Prime
Absolutely.
shipping, I
Yeah.
am not buying from you. Even if I have to pay $2 more to get that Prime shipping, it's almost worth it in my book because
Yeah.
it's going to cost me $5 to ship it.
Yeah, time is
So-
money.
Time is money.
Yep.
So you go down to 119. Amazon. Let's see
I
here.
want my jelly beans faster.
Prime students.
I almost ordered some of those.
You should.
got so
you
cl-
should. They're
well,
so good.
No, I'm down about 7 pounds right now, so I gotta try to stay away from that.
So you have a deficiency in weight.
I do.
jelly beans
but
will
Fill
help
with
you.
jelly
I can
beans.
thank my wisdom teeth for starting that process,
Yeah.
Well,
or lack of them, I guess.
you're gonna have to show them. Actually, I almost
by
bought
putting
a
weight
bag
back
of,
on. Yeah, I don't think
of
so.
gummy worms this week.
Nice.
Oh gosh.
So that might be my new bag.
Just don't bring it here. The at least take the gummy worms out and like lay them out. We'll
I'll-
give them their own webcam.
I will take the gummy worms out and leave them at home, and I'll just bring the bag here.
Perfect.
I always like the trolley gummy worms, and they got like I would say, for whatever candy version of stale, so they're a little bit harder to chew through.
You
Oh
talking
yeah,
about the
I know
sour
what you're talking
ones?
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, the sour crawlers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
love
that's
sour.
what I
Yeah,
want.
when they're a little bit on the stale side, I guess is what how I would define it. But I just
to
thought
know.
they tasted better. Same with the sour straws,
when
like
they're-
the sour punch.
When
Oh,
they're
they taste
stale,
better,
they
too.
taste better.
I thought so.
Okay, I'll leave some out
Yeah, I thought so.
if I get some.
Yeah.
I'll
Sour punch is the same way.
conduct an experiment.
Those sour punch straws, man.
Sour
Let
Punch
them
straws,
get
nice.
a little bit
The
air dried, and man,
those-
they're good.
Airhead rainbow tape things.
Yeah, man. They made my teeth hurt because I ate a whole bag of them on the way home from Kansas City. I was like, I'm only gonna eat like 5 of them, and we make it to Joplin. I'm like, where's the rest of them? Like they're gone.
Okay,
And
I'm
my
gonna order
teeth-
some of
my
those
teeth
right
hurt.
now. The
These are the
craving is
great
too
things
strong.
that you can buy on Amazon Prime. Like anything. I mean, that's the crazy thing. Like,
Yeah.
Your
My mom-
flavored Tootsie Rolls, man.
My mom won't hear this, but I mean, I ordered her birthday present on Amazon Prime. She's gonna be excited about that. I'm gonna change
she
her
doesn't
life.
know what it is.
Not yet.
It's all good.
No, not until tomorrow.
You just know that she just knows that you ordered it.
She doesn't know yet.
She might be
so-
watching.
She's not watching. I
might
can
be
see she's
listening.
watching. So this is the first time since 2014 that Amazon has raised their pricing from $79 to $99. The new pricing goes into effect starting June 16th, 2018, which works out because my Prime stuff, personally, like my Prime stuff renews in February. So
Ours renews in December.
I'm in March.
you're in March?
Yeah.
So Church was like, yes.
Church got it in.
Yes, he did. Amazon has 100 million Prime members. Do that math. So, oh, we just lost our live video.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Man
why.
down.
'Cause of what
Man
you said.
down.
Yeah,
It's because of what I said we got cut.
I guess. Yeah, no, we just lost our live video.
I had nothing to do with it. My water is on the ground. I haven't touched the computer other than my own.
What the good. All right, Facebook. Oh well. Okay, we're just gonna. So we're still live on YouTube. So we're still.
All right, YouTube. Hello. How are
Yeah,
you?
we're just gonna. It's like the Facebook. So when you do this whole Facebook thing, you have to authenticate significantly, as you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And there is something happened with our token may have expired or something. I guess interesting. Well, okay. Take a vote. Do you want me to take the 2 seconds or
No,
2
let's
minutes?
just keep
to go?
rolling.
Keep rolling. All right. Sorry, Facebook. Yeah, Facebook, you're still with us. Or sorry, YouTube, you're still with us, even though I don't think anybody's watching on YouTube. So we've got 100 million Prime members, so that's a whole lot of money. In other news as well, have you guys been following this whole Golden State Killer thing?
Well, I saw
To
it,
some
but
degree.
I don't know anything about it.
I knew a little bit about it beforehand because it was Patton Oswalt's wife that did a lot of research and kind of put a spotlight back on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew a little bit of it about that, but I didn't know about it beforehand.
Yeah, it's an interesting case. Like, But the reason I brought this up is so this has been like a 40-year case. Like this has been going for a really long time. And the thing that probably closed this case is one of those send in your DNA, send in your DNA to get your family lineage, thing. Which, for one aspect, I want to talk about it just, from how it impacts the case, but I want to talk about it from a privacy standpoint too, which is, if I understand what happened correctly, there was DNA or some sort of evidence from one of the crimes. That DNA somehow, some way, got uploaded. It got tied to this. What do they call it again? They call it GED Match. Tiny DNA analysis firm, and it's a free open source site, and this match got reported, and it was this familial match, which basically means, okay, this is likely somebody's family line, basically, that's happening. And they looked down that line and found this person, Citrus Heights police person, or what was the guy's name? Joseph James D'Angelo, and was named the chief suspect in the case. So what happened is they get this familial match, and then they start surveilling him. And when they surveilled him, he discarded something that would have had DNA on it. They then compared the DNA, matched it, and arrested him. And so what's interesting is that this person stopped committing these horrendous crimes in 1986, which is about the same time the DNA started to become a thing. And he was a cop.
The guy they arrested is an officer?
He was an officer.
Or was an officer?
Yeah, for like 6 years. But here's the thing. So you submit this DNA information to like a Ancestry.com or a 23andMe, and all of a sudden said information is being used against you. For me, that is a interesting privacy conundrum, is I guess the best way I can put it. And they said,
Okay.
This is the GED match policy. It basically says, although we were not approached by the law enforcement or anybody else about this case or about the DNA, it has always been GED match's policy to inform users that the database could be used for other uses as set forth in the site policy. While the database was created for genealogical research, it is important that GED match participants understand that possible uses of their DNA, including information of relatives that have committed crimes or were victim of crimes. If you are concerned about non-genealogical uses of your DNA, you should not upload your DNA to the database, and you should remove your DNA if it's already been uploaded. So basically, all this 23andMe, all this other stuff, like, if they all have this similar policy, there's just a giant flipping DNA.
Well, one of
everywhere.
the DNA things, I don't think it's 23andMe. I think it's Ancestry, maybe. In their fine print, it says that once you submit the DNA, like, they technically own your DNA.
Really?
Yeah, there's some wording that basically says that you no longer own your DNA.
I kind of figured this is happening anyway.
I do
If
too.
you submit your DNA to someone else, there's no way to guarantee that they're like, all right, hey, here's your results. By the way, we totally disposed of your DNA.
No,
and
I
didn't
agree.
make
I mean,
clones
like,
and
you're-
aren't making Westworld somewhere.
I'm even suspicious of like the making Westworld. I'm even suspicious of like the health insurance things when they do the wellness checks and they do like blood tests and that kind of a thing. Like, why is my insurance commissioning that? Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's to adjust rates. It's to keep data on you. That's
Oh, that's
more
exactly
data
what-
than
yeah.
what they already have. I'm suspicious of that because I'm paying you to cover me. I'm not paying you to know about me. You know what I mean? I don't mind telling
but
you.
it's them wanting to know how much you're actually worth covering.
Exactly, and I'm okay with you knowing whether I smoke or not. Like, that doesn't bother me because I don't know if you guys have to do this, but every year we have to do like a tobacco attestation form, which basically says we don't smoke, or if we do, we have to pay a higher thing. I'm fine with that. That doesn't faze me. But like, to know like my blood work, my thyroid levels, all of that stuff, no, I'm out.
No, we don't have to do that.
Yeah, we don't have to do it. It's not like not made. It's just offered. Like right now, the wellness check for my insurance company is coming in the next couple of weeks, and it's totally voluntary. You don't have to do it, but the way that they get you to do it is they offer you money. So essentially, some of our staff have done that, and they've gotten a $200 or $300 check based on it.
Oh.
Which I get. That's nice. That's helpful. But you're giving an awful lot of yourself away for $300.
That was about the perfect time for Facebook to kick back in.
There you go.
When you just said you're giving an awful lot of yourself away for
Talking about blood test DNA.
I really hope that's exactly
talking
where it
about
chimed in. I'm not going
blood
to
test
lie.
and DNA.
We're back on Facebook.
But anyway, I mean, you're giving you're really giving a lot of information about yourself away.
Yeah.
And that's to me personally,
Well,
is a very big deal.
Yeah, and it's the same thing from like you said, a life insurance standpoint. I mean, when they come to, for life insurance, you don't have to pay $1 bajillion for is, they got to do blood tests and all kinds of stuff. So they got everything about you.
Yeah, and see, Joni had to do that for her life insurance, and it's incredible. I mean, it's a good policy, and we don't pay a ton of money for it, but it just makes me uncomfortable to have to do blood work and doctor's visits and all that stuff because it's just like Church said, it's to figure out how much you're truly worth.
$7.
That sounds about right,
Yeah.
to be completely honest with you.
So,
Well, they come back and actually say that and be like, Gary, your premium is going to be $1 a month. Then, man, you're in great shape.
yeah.
You can take that as a compliment. But, you don't want to do that and then have your rates get raised, because then your rates get raised and then you also feel like, why did my rates get raised? I must be near death.
Well, yeah, I mean, not even so much the near death part. It's just it's valuing human life.
They're saying I'm in terrible shape.
I mean, in my opinion, that it's putting a monetary value on human life, which we already do anyway.
Oh, yeah.
When we buy a car or a car seat or, buy a certain thing for our own sake. I mean, we already put value on life anyway, but to have somebody outside of our own self do that,
Well,
that bothers me.
I mean, that's their business. So, yeah, they're going to
Absolutely
work that every possible way.
I
that
get
they
it from a
can.
business standpoint. It doesn't mean I have to like it.
Yep.
Oh, no, you shouldn't. There's not much to like about that. Healthcare is not a for the good of mankind business.
Unfortunately not. They
No,
make
it's
you
a
think that it
moneymaker.
is.
Yes.
Make you think
It
that
is absolutely. People are there to make money. It's a gamble.
So is everything else, though, at this point.
So in other news, we've got we talked about, I believe it was Montana that was doing
Joe?
Yes, Joe Montana was doing that net neutrality bill. Well, California is come to play, and they have passed a new California bill that would impose the nation's strictest net neutrality law. Has been approved by another state Senate committee, and is that much closer to being passed in California. It basically says California can, and this is a quote from one of their representatives. California can and must step up to reestablish the Obama-era net neutrality rules to protect consumers and our democracy. The bill would replicate the U.S.-wide ban on blocking, throttling, and paid prioritization that were implemented by the FCC in 2015, but it would go even beyond that with a ban on paid data cap exemptions. And so it was approved last week by the California Senate Energy Utilities and Communications Committee, despite protests from AT&T and cable lobbyists. AT&T complained that it goes well beyond the FCC order of 2015. Well, you know what? Maybe if you wouldn't have lobbied so hard to get rid of it at the national level, you wouldn't have to deal with all this state-level stuff, AT&T. So,
Well,
sorry
then
for
welcome
ya.
to the Constitution of the United States, because it says that states can be, and maybe it's not the Constitution, maybe it's no. Anyway, federal law. Let me back up. Federal law states that no state can be more lax than federal law. But
Yeah.
they can be more strict.
Exactly.
So, forget the first part I said that made me sound like an idiot with the Constitution. But the bottom line is, states can do whatever they want as long as it's more strict than the federal government.
Yep.
Right and wrong. I mean, that it's not just for net neutrality, because that's kind of a win for everyone. But I mean, it goes across all issues. So
Yeah, they're saying that California is almost certain to face lawsuits from the broadband industry if it imposes a net neutrality law. The U.S. Telecom Lobby Group, which represents AT&T and other telecommunication companies, has already said it will sue states that impose net neutrality rules. Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, I mean, they can sue all they want. The fact of the matter is a state can be more stringent than a federal government agency.
It's true.
Or the federal government, I guess. Not so much the agency. Because the FCC is its own thing, right?
It's an independent agency,
So,
yeah.
I wonder how that works then, because it's not technically federal government.
Yeah,
Even though it has federal in the
Federal,
name,
yeah.
I kind of wonder if that actually applies.
yeah, I don't know. It's a
That's
good question.
interesting.
It is a
I guess
good
we'll see,
question.
but I support it. Was the gentleman from Montana that proposed this, was he Republican?
I don't recall.
Okay. Because I noticed they specifically said that this is a Democrat that's
Yeah, that's pushing
bringing this up. So I was just
Yeah.
curious if it's got kind of some bipartisan momentum.
Yeah.
Like truly bipartisan momentum.
Maybe.
You know,
I guess we'll
not
see.
just like politic momentum.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
we'll see.
So, one other thing, we're going to run back to DC real quick before we dig into Marvel.
Run back.
There is new
This
test.
isn't Star Wars.
This
You
is
got a retcon.
there is new test footage from from Tim Burton's Man of Steel. We talked about this a few weeks ago about the wacky suits and all that other stuff. There is actual test footage of said suits now. So you do see a picture of Nicolas Cage in the Superman suit, but there are other.
Is he screaming
He's not screaming.
with his Ghost Rider
Beast.
screen?
That was what the whole movie was going to be. That's when they figured out we can't
It's
do this. We
probably
can't
not
make
going to
this
work.
movie.
Probably not going to work.
So there were a bunch of prototype suits tests that were done with this, and there's a YouTube video that comicbookmovie.com has, and they are all very. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So go and check that out. In Marvel news, before we get into everything Avengers related, is Fleer / Upper Deck is bringing back the 1990s era Fleer Ultra X-Men cards.
That's awesome.
I am so excited about this. There have been a few pieces of the artwork leaked as well.
I'm going to get some Ultra Pro pages.
Yes.
Pages?
Pages.
So this is
Yeah.
going to come out
What do you
in
mean pages?
like
Like
the 9
uncut
card,
cards?
No, the 9 card holders.
Holders.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, gotcha.
Put it in a
gotcha.
binder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
That's
I haven't
how
made a
all of my
binder since
Marvel.
I was like 11.
That's how all of my Marvel cards are still stored.
That's how mine are.
That's how my autographed Stanley Mr. Marvel card is stored.
Nice.
Just because I don't have anything else
Very
to put it
nice.
in.
So yeah, the so Upper Deck owns Fleer now, but it's dusting off the Fleer Ultra line for new series. That originally there was some discussion that this was supposed to be a new Marvel Masterpieces line, but this is different. So,
So can Tattoo order these?
yes, you
Do
can.
we have any idea of how much? Because I'm going to have to start saving now for them.
I for the Fleer Ultra thing, I'm guessing probably $100 a box.
Okay, it's
maybe.
not bad. And would that potentially not be a complete set?
I imagine you'd probably hit a base set with that, but
Okay.
maybe not all the inserts. There'll be sketch cards and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And there will be there's some of the artwork has been leaked out by
I think I'm
some
going
of
to need
the
that.
some of the people. Church's favorite character, Jubilee, is absolutely in there.
Why would you even say
Magneto,
that?
isn't that Magneto too?
No, that
Or no, who is that?
that
You know who my favorite character
that is Onslaught.
It's Onslaught.
Oh,
and
Onslaught?
it's tweeted by Megan Hetrick, no less.
That is our friend Megan Hetrick, who is
Yeah.
doing
I just saw the helmet. I wasn't
Oh.
paying attention.
That onslaught.
That Onslaught. So, yeah. So Megan Hetrick.
Oh,
an
got
amazing artist.
Channing Tatum, Gambit in there
Yeah.
too.
So there's a lot of great artists doing stuff. We are personally excited. Megan Hetrick has a handful of
Yes.
cards going in there. The
Awesome.
only one she has shown off so far is Onslaught and Pixie, but there are others.
Like how many is she doing? Do you have any idea?
5, I
Okay.
believe.
And so those would be the inserts. Those are not the
No,
ones.
those are the base cards.
Okay,
but so
okay.
that's what her base.
Man, that's
cards are gonna
cool
look
that
like.
she's getting base cards out of the deal. I mean,
Oh,
that-
yeah.
To me, I think that's a better thing, right? than
Yeah,
just an
yeah. It's
insert?
not. Yeah, it's not a sketch card. Yeah, and she's doing the original art for the base.
Okay.
For the
yeah,
base set for
that-
five
yeah,
characters,
okay.
I believe.
That
That's what I was
Wolverine's a
gonna say.
callback.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
it
Wolverine's
is.
awesome.
There's a lot of I believe she has been releasing some of the art over on like her Patreon and stuff like that as well. But yeah, this
Man,
is
that's
exciting. So
awesome.
this stuff
So
comes out
cool.
in July.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to get the three of us to help me remember because I will forget. But I totally want to buy a box from Tattoo.
Oh,
maybe
absolutely.
two.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Maybe two. We'll see.
So we are getting
Depends
into
how many signs, stickers, and everything else I can sell.
So we are getting into Marvel news. We are not getting into spoiler territory yet. So you're safe for now.
For now.
For now. We know that Coulson is coming back for
But
the.
I could snap my fingers.
You could.
Sorry, I had to interrupt that. My bad.
So Coulson, we know that Coulson is coming back
Mhm.
for Captain Marvel since it's actually going to be set in the 90s.
Which is pretty cool because he's still one of the only characters that's managed to cross over from movie to TV and back. That's pretty
Yep.
cool.
He was saying, quote, "That was a fun call from my friends in the cinematic universe who I normally see at these events saying, you know what? We think once again we have some work for you, but it takes place in the 90s. Can you go to the gym?" He said, "Yeah, the 90s? I mean, there's no gym that can get me back to the 90s. He said, "Well, don't worry. We've been working on that technology. We think we can goose you back a few years." So, yeah, it should be pretty interesting.
That's exciting.
He asked, somebody asked him whether he'd go back to the MCU in the present day. And he says, "I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I just show up where they tell me to show up. If the day comes I'm no longer playing Phil Coulson, I'll very gratefully bid him farewell, but because it's been an incredible journey. But I've learned is just be grateful for where I am and make the most out of the opportunity that day." So,
I mean, he's such a well-known character.
oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's Coulson.
it's Coulson.
How do you not have Coulson somewhere in Marvel? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
you
he
have to
plays
remember
it
though
so well.
at this point, but the Avengers, other than Nick Fury, they don't know. They still don't know he's alive.
Right. But I mean, that's my point though. Is
Yeah.
like whether he's on TV or not. I mean, I like the idea that he's just happy to be part of it.
Yeah.
You know.
So speaking
the
of
90s, man, that's kinda cool.
Captain Marvel, there's been some new on-set photos that have been released of Brie Larson in the Captain Marvel suit. It is still the green suit. It has pretty much been confirmed that is a Kree prototype suit given to her by the Kree based on her origins. So that is why she's in that teal-looking suit.
Wasn't the Kree? That's the Ronan the Accuser, right? He's Kree.
Did he Kree or did he kill the Kree?
Or did he wipe the
remember.
Kree out?
No, I
can't
thought he
remember.
was Kree.
Okay, so
I did too.
I can't remember.
Just because I thought that was what his whole speech was.
Yeah,
Kree justice and all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff.
Kree Justice, starring Ronan the Accuser.
Is that like Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Yeah.
Pretty
Or
much.
Walker Texas Ranger.
That's actually the theme I was going for.
Kree
Kree
Justice.
Justice.
Yeah.
Ronan
Yeah,
on a
I'm gonna
horse.
have to look that up because I'm pretty sure Ronan is Kree.
Yeah, it says so. It is a prototype suit given to her by the Kree. So some cool new. Then what's funny is like they have all of these pictures and stuff that have been leaked out and shown and everything, but still no official photo of her in the suit yet, which I find very
Yeah, he is.
interesting.
He is Kree of the Kree. So he's his race is Kree. So interesting that like he seemed, and granted it's one person out of the entire Kree race character type, but he seemed very aggressive, like not wanting to be very helpful of
Very
anybody.
accusatory.
Yeah, he
Yes.
did. He did accuse a lot of people. That's for condemned them even.
Yes.
And he judged them as well. He didn't just accuse, but he judged, sentenced maybe. Maybe that's a better word.
That's true.
Yeah, but anyway, it's just interesting that she has Kree technology.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, based on
that
the story
that they've made it.
What story they're going to do with her?
Yeah,
Kree
that'll
will
be
involved.
interesting to see how because that the Kree even got wrapped into Agents of Shield.
Yes.
Like they had been there for a while,
Uh-huh.
which is why Project Tahiti occurred.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to kind of see if we get the story with how that all intertwines and how the Kree was did they just use the technology to create it, or did the Kree actually build it?
I don't. They're like said we'll get
It's
more into
interesting.
that story. There could be definitely
Yeah.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
Do we know anything plot wise yet?
Nothing that I haven't heard anything, but I've kind of
It's set
stayed
in
away
the
from
it's
it a
set in
little
the
bit.
90s.
Yeah,
It's set in the 90s.
Other than that, yeah. If it's going to take place mostly on Earth, or
There's gonna have to be space. There has to be. Like
then I'm hoping for a Yondu cameo.
Oh, that would be awesome.
it's possible.
That would be cool.
It is possible.
That would be cool.
It is possible.
So, question: Did Captain Marvel always have short hair? Or is that the new take on Captain Marvel?
I believe that's the new take.
New take.
Okay. Because I noticed that Brie Larson doesn't have short hair, so
Yeah.
that was kind of my question.
So
Which, not that she has to.
yeah.
I like the look of the new character. I think the faux hawk looks
pretty sharp,
pretty
yeah.
rocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
So, in the last pieces of non-Avengers Infinity War spoiler news, sets a Thursday box office record, absolutely demolishes the last record. Avengers Infinity War makes $39 million on Thursday night alone. Breaks the previous record, which was held by The Dark Knight, which was $30 million, followed by Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, $27 million, Black Panther, $25 million.
isn't though that just so Marvel to just blow DC out of the water though?
I don't know. DC's got number 2 and 3, and Black Panther couldn't touch that. But
True.
I think the statement is Panther.
Yeah, that's true.
so,
So is it going to eclipse Panther?
overall, yeah, no.
I don't think so.
I would be surprised.
I don't think so.
What they're predicting, at least at this point, is they're looking at a potential $237 million opening, second best ever opening weekend behind The Force Awakens. So, if it breaks 247.9, that will be the 247.9 is the record held by Force Awakens for an opening weekend. So if it breaks that, Deadline.com is saying Disney's being cautious not to call records, reporting a $235 million range, but rivals see Infinity War starting at the high end of that. So it's going to make a boatload of money. That's what we know. And just before we sign off on Facebook, I just want to read the Ars Technica title of their review of Infinity War, and then we'll get into spoiler territory. I quote, Avengers Infinity War review. What's missing from this 2.5-hour romp? Hope.
Your favorite word.
Yes, but it's missing, which is why I may like this movie so much. Okay, so we are going to...
I don't know. I left with hope because
No.
of the ending.
I want to talk about I want to talk about something at the ending for sure, and do not let me, when we get to it, don't let me miss this part, because it seems like that people are talking about the ending and they're completely missing the point. The people that I've heard talking about it, but I don't know. Okay, we're going into spoiler territory
Yes, we are.
now.
It's time to get real.
We are we're gonna get into this. We're gonna spoil the movie. Stand with Thanos, whatever Thanos.
Spoilers. There's so many bubbles.
There are so many bubbles.
Yeah, and xenomorphs.
Yes,
Just
and
nuts.
xenomorphs, happy alien.
Well, all you have to do is just push them through a door and then tape it.
It's true.
It's true.
That gets rid of them.
Yes, it does. That was
not so
hilarious,
on
by the
Bubble.
way.
So
Because I thought Scotch tape really is that strong.
we are going well into spoiler territory now. So if you have not seen Infinity War, I'm telling you right now, as much as we love you listening to this podcast, you need to
Absolutely. Yes. Don't let us ruin it for you, because we are excited about it and we will absolutely destroy the movie for you.
Yes, we're going to. So we're going to sign off on Facebook now. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys back, the other time. And then we're going to keep